This program is brought to you by Pay Global.
It's time now to hear from the visionary himself. So without further ado, I would like you all to put your hands together to welcome Dr. Papa Kwesi Nduom.
Thank you very much, and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen who are here. What Mr. Ado doesn't know is Papa Osuankuma and myself don't know each other because of politics. We know each other also, I guess, from 1973 or so, or even 71. A long time ago, during the holidays, I played in a band in Second D. He was a younger person than me, and the manager of our band was in his house, and so that's how we got to know each other. So we've known each other for a very, very, very long time. If he were here, there was something I would have said. He and I collaborated on a project, very difficult project for Ghana, which ended up bringing Valco into the ownership of Ghana. So he was the lawyer for Ghana. I was the Minister of Energy at that time. And we figured out a way to get the Americans to sell Valco to Ghana for $1. And that's what we did. So before I say anything else, I want to add to what Henrietta said. The channel will be in two places. On Freeview. So on Freeview, the channel will be where you find Vision TV. And I believe it's channels 264. So you go there on Freeview, but you must have internet at home. And you click on it, and you should be able to watch this on Freeview. From the 16th of this month, it will have its own channel on Sky. So that's two ways that you can watch it. In addition to the Vision TV app, which you can take anywhere as long as you have internet, you can watch it. Now, let me, first of all, there's some people I need to thank, in addition to all of you who are here. We do, as Group Nduom, my family, there are only 6 of us. My wife, myself, my 4 children. The 6 of us, we couldn't organize a company and even bring some of it to the UK. So I always want to thank our management for the work that they do that has brought us to London and to where we are today as an organization. And there are some of them here introduced. If perhaps some of them are back there. Let me start with Mr. Kwame Ofori Asumeni. Why don't you just, instead of just standing there, come, Mr. Kwame Ofori Asumeni. He is the managing director of the company we call Gold Coasts. And so Gold Coasts, they do investments, pensions, manage funds for people. If we're going to make any investments, including this one, they are the ones who do the analysis. So he is the one in charge. Quite often, some people come to me and I say, go and see Kwame. This is Kwame. Then there is Mr. Benjamin Ansah, also back there. Benjamin Ansah, he is the general manager for what we call GN Networks. So all the things that we do to get our signals on radio, television, internet services, all of that, he is in charge of. Then we have a lawyer who scrutinizes all of our agreements and everything, Ms. Barbara Brown. She's also here with us. Where's Nicholas Omabo is here somewhere. Nicholas is, we have a section in our group called AFR. It's Accounting and Financial Reporting. Nicholas is one of the senior members in that group. So anything we do anywhere, they account for it. Well, you've met, well, come back again, but you've met Fred Menu. Fred is the one who is right now in charge of what we do here in the UK. So if there's anything, any inquiries, Fred Menu. Before he came here, he was at GN Bank and was in charge of the Ashanti and Brongahafu region. So he knows that area. He used also to be in charge of the northern region as well. The channel manager, Henrietta, who came here, this GNTV UK content and everything manager is Henrietta Adom. I'm looking back there. Where's Prince? Prince said to the Ahumka Radio that has now become GN Radio. He is the one in charge. So some of you are seeing him in a new light. So he's now GN Radio. Who else? I'm looking back there. I can't see. Michael Kunke. Where's Michael Kunke? Michael, I don't know how to describe this young man. He's a technical man, but you know, if you have been in Ghana, we have television, a number of television channels. One of them is ATV, it's only Ghanaian language, and so he is the technical person who has come from Ghana, assisting to make sure that we can be on air and work successfully. So there are others missing, but let me leave it there. Here are some. Some of you, you know Kit Yawson. He's been with us for the last 2-3 years. And you've been introduced to the two young men sitting right here that I'm looking at. They are my children. One of them is a lawyer, Papa Wasa Chibi here. The other is the financial man. They both work with us. And the main advisor and organizer of Group Nduom is sitting behind me here. If we are going and she sees danger, she says stop. And then we all stop and we look around and adjust ourselves before we go anywhere. So thank you very much. These are the people. We have now probably close to 7,000 employees in a number of different countries. And so the managers, including these ones, are the ones who make things work. I will not be forgiven if I don't introduce. There's some three gentlemen back there. They are my classmates. We went to St. Augustine's the same day in 1966. those three gentlemen back there. And, well, Gabriel Abenyi, Mr. Olympi, and then Mr. Hamilton, Vincent Hamilton, those three. When was it? Last year, it was interesting. We all did a little reunion, 2 years since sort of Gassens, and it was a good time. So anytime we go anywhere, our classmates show up, and I'm very happy that they are here with us. GNTV UK is not our first television or media enterprise, but it's an extension of what we are trying to do, not just in Ghana, but in other countries as well. Madam Lina, you should know that we actually have a radio station in Liberia. Yes. Oh, you do know. Okay. It's important. Media is very important. Somebody will tell your story, whether you are part of it or not, in terms of developing the story or writing it. Someone will tell the story. But the question is, what kind of story are they going to tell about you? What we want to do is to be in front and lead in telling the African story. And that's what we've been trying to do in West Africa. And we figure that here in London, where there are many, many Africans, we can also tell the other side of the African story. Because many of our people have been here. They've lived here, they've worked, they've studied, they've gotten ideas and so on and so forth. Some have brought it back. But we want to be the link between Africa and the UK and Europe. So that's what this is supposed to be. And so we're not just going to show packaged programs, but we want to do live programming as well. And so we are especially interested in the Africa Talk program that is in the morning from 6:30 to 8:30. Because we want to take trending topics from Africa and have those topics be discussed from a non-political standpoint, because we want to make Africa great, strong, prosperous. Because whether you're an African or of African descent and you are here, whether you go back home or not, whatever happens in Africa, it does affect you one way or the other. And so we want to be that link. So the talk show, which is also on radio, want people to be in the studio to talk, but we want audience and listener, viewer participation, which is why we have it on radio. So you can call in, so you can send messages, and it can be interactive. And I know they started on Wednesday. The topic on Wednesday, what was the topic on Wednesday? The topic on Wednesday was on African leadership and their health, their physical and mental health. And on Thursday, they did a topic on money transfer, whether it's something positive or something negative. Then yesterday, they had a topic of life in the UK, or Africans in the UK, whether it represents an opportunity or a dead end. And so those are the three topics that they discuss as 3 days. So they will engage in that 5 days a week, and they will repeat 2 of them on a Saturday morning and Sunday mornings as well. And we will bring live news and other programs from Ghana, especially the news, not just general news, but also business news, that is drawn from different parts of the continent, in addition to the entertainment programs. And what we are hoping is that we can feature African content producers from Africa and also those based here. And so, at the very beginning, there's a gentleman called Kwame Bwedi. He's a Ghanaian. So we are featuring a number of his productions from the very beginning. So we are hoping we'll get some Nigerian ones, Liberian ones, South African ones, and from time to time feature them and so on and so forth. And so the documentary that is there, we're going to do some other ones. We are producing one on Liberia, so that will be coming. We want to do one on life in Lagos, and then we'll go to other places as well, so we can bring a bit of Africa to you. And so we also want to do the business link. So there are some other things that we want to do to connect people as far as businesses are concerned. So that is what the channel is going to be. But I also want to tell you just a little bit about some of the other things that we do. Because it is important for us, everything that we do, we try not to keep it in one place. And so let me start with Liberia. Because in Liberia, through, some might say, an accident, an opportunity, something happening somewhere, we ended up being asked to take over a non-bank financial institution in Liberia. And we sent some people there, so a combination of Ghanaians and Liberians. They have made a very good job of this. As I'm speaking, they have given funds, probably around $20 million, to small and medium-scale enterprises, and the criteria is that they must be Liberian. Okay, and so it's gone to Liberians right in Liberia. And then when we talk about GN Bank is in Liberia and has 11 locations in Liberia as well. And just recently we got the opportunity to also begin running in Liberia that I'm sure RJL can do. So we're doing some things in Liberia, and what we do in Ghana, we take to other parts of West Africa as well. So you might not know that today we use or assemble televisions in Ghana. And if you go to Liberia, somebody is watching television assembled in Ghana or in Cote d'Ivoire or in Togo. And I've told one of my classmates that one day I'll bring one to London and you will see how good that television is. Set-top boxes as well that we assemble in Ghana. And to Burkina, in Burkina, if you go and buy something, they put it in a takeaway box. If you look underneath and it says Fresh Pack, it was produced in Elmina in Ghana. And you can find it in Togo and so many other places. And so we are in Togo, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Benin, and in Burkina, and in Liberia. In terms of financial institutions, and in terms of banks, we were lucky enough and fortunate enough to acquire a small bank on the south side of Chicago last year. So we're also running a bank in the US. And we're trying over time to connect a number of these enterprises. And from the end of this year, we are also beginning to put some of our companies on the Ghana stock market so that anyone interested can buy shares. So we own a printing company, we own an advertising company, so we will begin. We've signed the agreements and we'll offer the shares on the Ghana stock market. And that will begin us offloading shares in a number of our companies to the public so that people can see what we have been doing. Because many people don't really know what we have been doing. They hear some of the names, but there's a lot of work that has been done by the dedicated management and staff. Quite often I say I take credit for a lot of it, but they are the ones who do the real work and make things happen and happen all over. But I want something that I keep telling our people is my last before I go on retirement. Who was that? If you look here, it says Pay Global. And I'm really serious about that we Africans must become a strong part of the digital money work that is going on. And I'm not talking Bitcoin. We might get to Bitcoin, but before we get there, Pay Global is a product some young men and women in Ghana put together, and we have worked with them, partnered with them, and it's starting from here in London. And my interest in this is not just money transfer. I want Africans here in London to be able to put their money onto this wallet. First of all, download the app, put the money in this wallet, and go to any African shop in London and pay for what they buy with this, with Pay Global. That's one thing that we want to do, or taxi, or whatever it is. So that's something we are beginning to sell to everybody, and we're going to try and be as aggressive, as active as we can, so people see the value in this. But then, as part of it, yes, you put money on this wallet. You can, through agents and whoever else that we are gathering here in London, you can send it to anywhere. So in the case of Liberia, because we've got GN Bank and we're forming agents there, because it's got a currency converter in it, you can sit here in your living room, send the money to somebody in Liberia, and the conversion will be done so you can get the Liberia dollars. And once we get regulatory approval, you can also do it from here to somebody in the US, and they'll get US dollars as well. So the money comes on the wallet. It is there for you to spend anywhere in the world. But for Ghanaians, there is no financial institution that is as widespread as ours in Ghana. So once you put this on your wallet, GN Bank, this one, is in 300 locations in every district in Ghana. So it doesn't matter where it is, whether it's in Germany, in the Volta region, or it's, you mentioned the name, Jukwa in the central region, Yape Kusowu, there, we are there. So anywhere you want to send money in Ghana, there's somebody there, and we are also developing not just the bank, but other agents throughout the country. The point is that we don't just want to be, I don't want to mention names, like a money transfer company. We want to have the wallet be there, and you can do whatever you want to do with the wallet, and you can also do cash out here in London, and you can do cash out anywhere else, and truly let it become digital money sitting with you wherever it is that you go. And in the case of Ghana, anybody comes to Ghana today, if you say mobile money, we have a mobile money product, so you link from this one to that one. So, and then we are getting to Liberia with the mobile money product as well. So this is one. Fred Menu, who I introduced earlier, he's in charge of this. And his charge is to make this work. and I know he will make it work. I have a lot of confidence in him and the team that we are assembling. So there are a few things that link to this. And then those of you who want to watch television in Ghana also on your tablets or on your phones, there's F as in Frank, FD Mobile. It's an app. You download the app as long as you have internet. Anywhere you are, you can watch GTV, you can watch ATV, you can watch FNN, you can watch a number of, there are about, Mr. Ansa, how many channels there? 23 channels, including Bloomberg and others on it. Today, you can watch any one of it and watch live television in Ghana. Hopefully, we'll get channels from other African countries also to be placed on it. And it's something that Mr. Ansa and his people put together. So we are trying to do what we can to link. And the UK and Europe, we're doing that with the US and some other places. And that is what we are doing. But hope that what we do will create value that so many other people can also benefit from. So, television, I'm at the African Mission. They have an event, or the associations. If you have an event, you want covered, I've given them permission, they should cover them for you and find to put them on television for you. Okay, so we can project what is done out there for anyone to also view and understand what goes on. And every now and then, of where people send greetings from here to people in Africa, where we want to do it the other way around. To have people in Africa send greetings to people here. So we're going to do that and also make sure that that link becomes complete. And if anybody something you feel proud of and you want people to know, let our people know and we'll find a way to raise them on who you are, what you do, and that is what some of my friends come to Ghana. Because we have television channels in Ghana. I have a friend who's a medical doctor. He came, we put him on TV to tell people what he does. And interestingly enough, he generated so much interest that he himself is back in Ghana. So we like to link people up and let them hear your story, because our stories don't get told. Because if you didn't say, oh, that politician. Well, if somebody just said that politician, that wouldn't be a complete story. And so we might say he's a pastor, but maybe there's something else that he does we wouldn't know until we heard his story. But my final point is that in Africa, sometimes we think people get into business because they are rich or they are well off. But people don't understand. Sometimes you get into business out of desperation. There's nothing here. So you must hustle and get something done. That you borrow money. Some friends, money, they want it back with interest. So we do this because we must live, we must eat, we must sleep somewhere. And we want people who have been in business, their stories to be told, so that the young people will have a good point of reference, so they can understand how someone got there, so that they can also decide how to get to the same position, because I want to see if some other people will come and be 100 times bigger than whatever it is that some of us have been able to do. That's the only way you make Africa that is strong, and you build a continent that people can become very proud of. So finally, let me once again thank, as I started off, our employees and management. Thank all of the distinguished ladies and gentlemen who have taken up a bit of your time to be here with us. We say that we are a company that is grounded on a foundation of faith. And so, whatever we do, everywhere we go, there is something about our faith that we want to be demonstrated. When I say faith, yes, I am a Christian. Someone else is a Muslim or a Buddhist. But it's faith. And the faith is what is important, because that is what tells us what is right, what is wrong, how to treat other people, and so on and so forth, how to be patient, and so on, and all of that. There are a few Bible quotations that we talk about. Since there's a pastor here, I'm not going to get into chapters and verses and so on and so forth. Okay? But aside from the ones that we normally talk about, there is something from Proverbs that I'm sure he knows that says, do not love sleep. Do not love sleep, or you'll be poor. Stay awake. Not so. It says, stay awake, and you will become prosperous, and so on and so forth. You see, I choose carefully the things. There is also. Let me leave it there. So thank you for being here. I just hope that what we present, it comes to add. And if you know the others who had come before us, please thank them for us. ABN, Ben, AIT, Vox Africa, those who have come before us, they have paved the way and have made it possible for us also to believe that we can do something like that here. We want to add to what they have done with a different perspective and open the way so that other things can be done. So thank you very much, and God bless you.
This program is brought to you by Pay Global.